All right, so the same thing, right? I'm going for the same setup. I got north and south of my opponent. Pay attention to how I got my north and south. I'm putting weight on him. I'm seeing a lot of you guys be really high up here and you're giving your opponent room. Look, north and south is a little bit of a weird position. We all know, okay? But it's a position that works, and it definitely works in Jiu-Jitsu very well if you know what you're doing. But in order for you to do that, you kind of got to get a little bit away from the icky factor and get close to your opponent and drop that hip on his face. Drop your weight on him. Look how uncomfortable he is because he can't move his neck. He's stuck there. And I have good control of my opponent. I can control him by holding his hip here. I can control him by pulling the lapels and making this tight on him. He has nowhere to go except where I want him to go. But I need to be able to apply that pressure on my opponent. So I open low, both of these up. I went under. I got this nice and tight. And I'm doing the same move as before. The moment I start bringing my knees in, I'm gonna bring it in, boom, bring him up. I got my hip in nice and tight with him. He's gonna start defending. I drop my foot there, pull, grab that hook, got both of my hooks in. Before we move on to the submission, little detail here. Pay attention to your feet. You wanna have your hooks in. You don't wanna have your feet crossed. You're trying to cross your feet. A lot of people is gonna get into this because you're so used to being in the guard. You're gonna cross your feet. Show what happens when you cross the feet. I cross my feet. He puts that weight on there. Do it slowly. He puts that weight on there. What he's technically doing is doing a heel hook. He's technically doing a heel hook on my leg. He can break my knee. When he did that, I didn't feel it there. Immediately, I felt it on my knee. If my ankle's nice and straight, then I'll feel it on my ankle, and he'll pop it that way. Either way, you don't want to cross your ankles. You're setting yourself up for failure. Have them nice and wide, boom, or have it like this. Don't cross. Either you're praying, or you got it nice and wide. So I got my opponent here, and I got both of these lapels still being held. I didn't go to the seatbelt or anything, but he's giving me room. He's not defending this too well, so he's giving me the room to attack. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna pick a lapel, whichever side you want, and then I'm gonna pass it to the other hand. Boom. The moment I pass the lapel to the other hand, I don't need to grab high all the way up here. I grab right around the middle. It's just so this lapel doesn't move. I need just to be able to have a good grip on it so it doesn't move. This hand right here is gonna come free. I'm gonna dig across his face. Now you can grab fabric up here if need be, but the best bet is you're gonna stick your thumb in and go into the lapel here, grab the nice bunch of cloth, holding this down, and what you're gonna do now is you're kinda gonna stretch him out until he chokes. Make sense? You're pulling apart, but the way I'm pulling apart is I'm not pulling apart going like this. I stop the movement, I'm bringing my elbows to me. Look at my shoulder and my elbows. That's where the power is. It's not doing this, or else he just moves. I'm keeping him tight, and boom, I'm doing it that way. Make sense? Come here. Just be sitting down, same position. So I got him up. I have this nice and held. I'm gonna get ready to, I got my positioning. I'm tight on my opponent. I have good control here, so he's not really gonna do anything. He's defending. I'm gonna get ready to put my hooks in. Foot goes on the hip. I start pulling, I'm pushing. That foot goes through. This one comes out. Boom, I got my hooks. Next thing, hand. I pass to the lapel, right around the middle. If you got it really tight up there, that's fine. I like just the middle. I'm not gonna put too much pressure on him right now. I just wanna make sure my grip here is tight. Hand comes out, boom. I can grab here and work it. I can go thumb in on his lapel and go nice and deep, grab the fabric and the same thing. Boom, and he taps. Make sense? You comfortable? You good? All right, partner up.